Yo, what is up YouTube? It's Brody, it's Friday, it's nice out, it is release day. Today, the song 5 or 6 a.m. by LAYEN, produced by me, came out. Excited to go through this one with you guys. This song we did back in August of last year, so it's almost been a full year since we wrote it, and we've been writing together for a long time, but I really think this song was a big, light bulb moment for the both of us with our new styles, the sounds that we're chasing, the types of, instrumentals we've been writing. I think that this one turned out really cool, and I've been really looking forward to this release. So I'm gonna go through and show you guys how I made it, show all the different stems, talk about process and whatnot throughout this. So yeah, let's dive into it. Let's see what we're looking at here. I'll play through, I'll scrub through a little bit of it first, and then we'll talk through the individual parts. Starts out with this hook. Verse here. Get a fun riffy post-chorus. Really love the drum production and all the riffs. So much ear candy. Cool synth stuff. Later on in the song we get this crazy breakdown, build-up kind of thing. And then it builds up and builds up into the big ambient outro. So yeah, this song is pretty short and sweet. It's just around 3 minutes of a length. But it's very vertical instead of horizontal. It's short, but it's packed with so many stacks of things happening, so much ear candy, so many layers, so much variance throughout it, which I think was really fun. I think we took the ideas and the themes of early post-hardcore and approached it in a very modern kind of way. That was the goal. I feel like we managed to achieve that, but I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's go through and talk about the parts that we did. I'll start off with the drums here. I use Superior Drummer now, but this is an older session, so I was still using Easy Drummer, but a bulk of similar samples. Easy Drummer Death Metal Kit is one of my favorites. It looks extreme. It sounds like it'd be crazy, but it really is just this very punchy, fast attack, short release, clear drum kit that I think works really good for pop music, rock music, anything with a snappy kit. Listen to it on its own. It's so nice. On my drum bus, I'm doing some EQ, doing a little bit of radiator for some saturation, doing some glue compression, a couple of dBs of gain reduction, Oxford inflator for a little bit more soft clipping, sine wave shaping stuff, a little bit of soothe. Yeah, we have that going on, and then what I'm doing throughout the song is kind of taking the bones of it as organic, and then per section doing some cool processing. So for example, we have this ambient bridge kind of thing where I'm going crazy on the effects. Very chorused, stereoized thing. But then we have on that drum build up with the breakdown, a flanger and then some digitalis. Wanted to take the kind of Blink-182 flanger transition drum thing and make it crazier. So at its core, that's what we have. But then I'm adding digitalis to kind of give some digital corruption kind of stuff happening on top of it. Really like how that sounds. And it kind of the flanger makes it swoop back into the regular sound, which I think is nice. On top of that, we have some aux percussion, shaker and tambourine. Really fast rhythm for the shaker. Tambourine, I'm doing some shaper box to get that kind of thing. I have this 16th note hi-hat happening, nothing crazy here, but just add some momentum. It's more felt than it's heard, really. Then we have some aux percussion on that bridge ambient section. Same parts, but I'm just like half timing it and adding in some weird ambience to that as well. And yeah, that is my drums for this song. Move to bass guitar, I'll play that with the drums. I'm doing the same thing I usually do with my bass where it's 2 split signals. I have a DI that is just a clean DI running through Ampeg SVT and a LA2A. A little bit of decapitator. Then I have the second half of it going through my guitar amp. So for guitars, I used my MOSFET Lead 100 Marshall amp through a impulse response of a 1960A Marshall cab to kind of give that like JCM 800 kind of tone. And I used that guitar amp as my bass dirt as well. So I'm splitting the signal, clean DI, and then through my Marshall head down here. It's just out of frame, but right there. It sounds like this. Love the way it hits that top end. Just a bunch of EQ, some stereoizing, just so everything that's like a little bit higher frequency gets slightly more wide. Makes it sound like it's in a room. I don't like when things are just 100% dead mono. Feels unnatural to me. Then we're comping them together. This one's interesting because it's funny because this is like an older song of mine. Hearing the production choices that slightly change. It's definitely a more clean bass tone. You can hear the popping clean high end more, but I think it suits the song really well. Then we have, similar to the drum kit going in and out of being totally natural and having some crazy effects on it. For the bridge sections and little transitions, I'm running the bass guitar through halftime, pitching it down like a whole octave to make it sound really uncanny and weird. So it's like getting my synth tones from messing up audio instead of making them at the source be synth. I think that's a fun theme with this. I like making organic things sound digital, and I like making digital things sound organic. I think that like uncanny valley between the two is really cool sonic place for like finding new sounds. When the song finally does end, that's when I bring in an actual synth bass. I have this Reese bass playing here that is just like a more open kind of thing. It feels like very final end credits type thing. Yeah, from there, let's get into guitars. There's a lot of cool guitar layers happening throughout the song. Let's start with the rhythm. Like I mentioned, it's my Lead 100 MOSFET amp that I'm getting my tones from. Did a little bit of a boost. I think I used my blues driver as the boost going into it just to make it a little bit tighter. Sounds like this. Then I am running a little bit blended Valhalla for some room sound. OTT as my guitar compressor. I've been really liking this for guitar compression. I used to be a big 1176 or DBX160 person for that. And I think that the OTT blended N kind of does a similar thing to those, but with just like a more digital top end. I think if I'm going for a more organic sounding thing, I'll use the hardware compressors. If I'm going for something a little more modern, I'll use the OTT. So big difference. Makes it sound from here to like here. Like it's so upfront. It's so in your face. If you notice too, the guitar parts, I'm playing some weird chords. Instead of doing like power chords and then octaves over top of it, I intentionally did some like big shaped chords for the like counter melody with the chord progression. Just had some more fun playing the chords that way. It was more inspiring. We get to that weird post-chorus. Love how that sounds, because it's when you listen to just the guitar track, it's kind of messy, chaotic thing. But then in context with the bass and the drums, it sounds so like rhythmic and tight. It's like instead of quantizing things, it's fun to leave them be, let them be their like natural form and have things around it kind of accentuate it. Then we hit the end breakdown, which is really fun, doing some classic panning stuff. And I'm also quad tracking, running through my HM2 for some really gnarly tones, a lot of feedback. So we have the normal tone as the root, and then this is like the extreme layer. Love that feedback. It's so crazy. Then this stretched out feedback. Took that little bit of feedback, stretched it out far, did a reverb automation, so it kind of fades into nothing there. Love how that sounds. After that, there's this lead that I'm really proud of. I think it sounds so cool. Play with the rhythm. Wanted to do one of those like catchy major pop punk leads where it's like every other note is like the open string. So it sounds like this on the right side. So kind of harmonizing. I think that sounds so nice. And then from there, I took those as the basis. I was so excited when I wrote that part that I knew I wanted to have more sound like that. So I took that and I like pitched it up an octave, I stretched it out, I did some where I made them tighter and faster, and then this is happening. So in that same theme with the drums and the bass of taking organic things and making them sound digital, that's what I'm doing here. I have a few different layers. This one is me taking that lead and stretching it out a whole lot farther. I'm running all of this through some OTT, some Valhalla, Little Altar Boy, octave up. It's all getting the octave up. Some sketch cassette for some lo-fi and vibrato. Effect rack for the shimmer reverb. We have that. We have this, which is me taking it and like scrunching it down a bunch and hitting it with a second octave up. Just so it gets really squealy, screamy sounding. I love Little Altar Boy is so cool when you put it on something that's not entirely monophonic. Like there's some sections of that but there's two notes playing at the same time. And when that happens with Little Altar Boy, it just doesn't know what to do. It freaks out, it jumps octaves, it gets really wide randomly, and it's just really fun to play with. I have a song from forever ago called Fell Victim, me and Dementia made. I did a whole guitar solo where I just played a chord and ran it through Little Altar Boy, and for the entirety of that solo, I did that, ran it through Little Altar Boy, then ran it through Auto-Tune to kind of catch any notes to make sure it's all in the scale, but it really did some crazy things. Fun. I definitely recommend playing with Little Altar Boy like that. We have this third section. Again, stretched out. And yeah, that happens throughout pretty much the whole song, different amounts of it. I have a textural thing that I kind of had like a Bob Ross happy accident with. I took that same exact section and then I took Soothe too and cranked it up as loud as extreme as it would go. And I did this thing where it like removed all of the, it kept the ambience and like the air of the sound, but removed so much of the note definition. So it sounds like this. You can hear the rhythms the same and the notes are there, but it's like a pad. All of the melody is gone. If I bring it back in. That was like totally unintentional, but the second I heard that, I was like, that has to stay in the song. I love having like a bed, like world building for a song with all the ambience layers. So we have that. We have a couple more ambience layers. My classic, I will play a note, let it infinitely reverb, and then record that reverb tail, and that's what I did with these. It sounds like this. Two different ones. This one. And this higher one. and together, it's all very nice. I love that. Then adding to the reverb layers, or the textural layers, adding to the texture layers is all this vocal that I did. So I recorded just a bunch of takes of my vocals, ran them through Effect Rack for the shimmer reverb, compressed them all together, did like different degrees of Little Altar Boy up and down on them. A lot of texture. They sound funny on their own, but when you throw it all in context, it really fleshes it out. It takes the song and puts it in a place. I know I keep saying that, but I think that's so important. There's one more thing that I noticed in that section there was I'm doing a lot of automation through this song, and there's a section, a guitar lead that I did. Here it is. Some automation of the UAD Galaxy Tape Echo, which is their version of like the Roland Space Echo. And I did that as a transition. I just love how that sounds. One of these days I'll have a Space Echo for my studio, but just like using them as an instrument is like a performative thing of like making the delay self-oscillate, panning them different directions, distorting it, all kinds of things, really adds a lot of character. And I think that like little bleed over, it's subtle, but it makes the transition from section to section that much cooler. You can hear it here. It just keeps everything flowing and nice. This is very like dense, lush. Like I feel like I almost did like a shoegaze approach to like wall of sound with all of this. There's so much happening. It kind of blends into one thing unless you really listen to it a bunch of times and start to like pinpoint all the different sounds. I love how washy it all is. From there we have our sound effects. Nothing crazy. From my drum kit, I took a few risers and impacts to like accentuate some parts. From my most recent drum kit on BeatStars, I think it's like it is the 2023 drum kit. I know it's kind of old at this point, but I still use it. I still am using that. I feel like I intentionally took sounds that were pretty versatile and able to be affected. That way it's like a clean slate, and then you can add your own processing on top of it to have it fit the song you're working on. And that's why I haven't done any new kits since then. Next thing I'm noticing here is this really fun, talking about all the different one-shots and like crazy effects and like ear candy. One of my favorite examples of it, LAYEN was playing with Lossy and did this just little blip of an effect where it's a really small mono sound and then it gets bigger and wider. And on the build of the breakdown, almost like akin to like a dubstep song, the drums get more and more intense and then everything cuts. We even cut out all the reverbs of the song. That way it's dead quiet except for this little part before the breakdown hits. And I think that's one of the coolest moments of the song. I love that. We spent a lot of time combing through this song. I think that taking that attention to detail and making every section flow or not flow, making every second of the song be deliberate is so fun. It really, like, I don't know, it feels good to like really take your time with the song. Once, like, when you know, like, oh, this is a special one, this is feeling nice, like, really putting in the time, putting in the effort to make it as impactful as it can and serve the song to the amount you can. I don't think that overproducing is always the answer, but just for this particular song, the answer was to go as maximalist as possible. But yeah, this is 5 or 6 a.m. by LAYEN. You made it this far through the video. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate all the love on the channel recently. I think that making these and being able to do, like, show and tell with you guys after these sessions has like really rekindled my love for songwriting, and I don't know, I'm really happy to be posting these and building like a community here. I'm really thankful for this space. More videos to come. But yeah, make it this far. Appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and with that being said, peace out.